Hello, I'm Tanner, a natural bodybuilder who's also getting into philosophy. And today I want to talk about "You have no enemies," which is a very popular quote from an anime called Vinland Saga. Um, but I wanted to talk about it because I do genuinely think it impacted me and the way I viewed things and my life in general once I really understood it, or at least felt like I really understood it. But quick little rundown of the show if you don't know. Um, so there's this great warrior, like literally one of the strongest dudes on the earth, if not the strongest dude. And he realizes like all this killing, all this stuff he's doing, all these warriors he's fighting is meaningless, is nothing. And he discovers what he believes to be a true warrior, what he refers to as a true warrior. And he puts down his sword, right? He's like, I'm never killing anyone again. And he and he goes on, he has children, he lives his life in peace. Then his son watches this great warrior die in a very dishonorable way. He spends the whole first season killing a lot of people, trying to seek revenge for his father. And then in the second season, it's about him coming to terms with his past and what he's done, the people he's killed, and all that. And that leads to him kind of growing in his understanding of his father's philosophy, the fact that no one is your enemy, right? That was his father's like big thing. It's like no one's your enemy, no one deserves to die. Um, but I think I wrote my notes, and I think I realized I wanted to talk about them in a different order. So I might go backwards here. But true strength lies in kindness and forgiveness, the ability to overcome past wrongdoings. I don't know if you've ever seen court cases where like it will be someone who had murdered these people's children, but they're like, I forgive you. it They will be sitting there crying their eyes out trying to get those words out, but it's because they know that their own that person has no power over them, that their own strength comes from the fact of being able to say I forgive you and moving on with their lives, right? Still grieving their child, still loving their child, still missing their child, but at the end of the day forgiving and moving on. Because at the end of the day, and this is it's slightly different. Let's take it a little bit less extreme than the murdering example, but at the end of the day, it's their first time living as well. We all make mistakes and are figuring it out. Again, this murdering someone's child is not exactly a mistake. I'm not trying to, but it's it's the smaller things. It's oh, that person was really mean to me in high school. Oh, that person, I don't know. Name something. Name an example of something that was kind of like seemed like such a big deal at the time. One of my football coaches in high school made me hate the sport and really want to quit. Right. Um, that's just a personal example. I mean, but I have to understand that at the end of the day, it is that person's first time living as well, right? Just like I'm trying to figure out my life, just as I have made mistakes, they are doing the same thing, right? They may have wronged me, they may have said hurtful things, they may have done whatever, but at the end of the day, they're learning and they're growing as well. Maybe they regret all those things. Maybe they did those things out of some deep seated issues they have. It's like we are imperfect just as they are imperfect, and you can't expect people to just get it right the first time, right? This is the only life we have. No one's done it before. We're all, figuring it out. I mean, you're not good at anything the first time you do it, unless you're one of those people, which, in case, good for you. Um, and then labeling someone's enemy gives them, and whatever they did, power that they shouldn't have, right? To look at someone and be like, oh, you really wronged me that time. You're my enemy. To look at someone and give them that label, it gives such power to what they did, regardless how big or small it is. It gives such power to what they did and to them that they just shouldn't have over you. At the end of the day, it's not about them. It's about you growing as a person and becoming the best person you can be. It's about you trying to evolve, right? I guess that's the word for it. But it's not about them, and it's not about, and so don't give them that power. Don't give them this hold over you that they shouldn't have just because they said something mean to you once, you know? And then yeah, I again I'm kind of out of order with my notes here because I realized I was like, I don't know if the order I'm talking about these makes sense. The way I'd first written them down, but none of us do. No amount of wrong makes someone your enemy. And I know that's like a very radical idea, because it's like, well, what about this dude who murdered 15 people? You know, it's like it's awful. Though things like that are obviously awful, and those are sick individuals. I like genuinely probably mentally ill in the head, but they're still not your enemy. They're still just another human being who, again, have done horrible things. I'm not saying you have to have them in your life. I'm not saying you have to interact with them on a daily basis, but I'm just saying you can't hold this internal anger and this unforgiveness towards them, because then you just can't move on with your life. Then you can't grow. Then you can't become a better person, because you're stuck in the past. You're stuck in what has happened. You're stuck in what they did, instead of focusing on what you can do and how you move forward, right? Um, yeah, I don't know. I I feel like I was a little all over the place there, but it watch the show. Maybe if you watch it, I think you'll understand it better than the way I explained it. But yeah, none of us have any enemies. We're all people, right? If they did something truly awful, you don't have to have them in your life. But I do think you have to forgive them. That's why I think the saying shouldn't be for forgive and forget, forgive and move on, right? Like what they did, it still happened, right? And you don't have to have daily interactions with that person. You don't have to have them involved in your life, but you can still forgive them and clear out whatever weight that they have over you, whatever hold they have over you, you know? But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, we might just want to watch the show to understand it better. I feel like I did a very poor job, but I don't know. I want to talk about it because it genuinely changed me. I think. I hope. I try. Um, Definitely far from perfect, but anyway, that'll be it for philosophy video today. And as far as gym video goes, it's back day, so I'll see y'all there. Thank you for watching. I haven't said this in a while, but if you have any suggestions for specific things you'd like me to talk about, or specific philosophies you'd like me to look into, I'd greatly appreciate suggestions, because I'm not exactly creative in it. I don't know. I'm worried about running out of ideas, but I'll be fine. I'll figure it out. But yeah, thank you. Have a blessed day. Bye bye.